The only way you lose that in business is if you run out of money.
Correct. The key to getting funding in 2026 is there's so many small things so many mistakes that people make that prevent them from getting business funding. So let's say you're going to close on a property. You need $50,000. We can liquidate a business credit card, take the money off, and use that for a down payment.
I think the future is going to be only one of two ways. Today's show, I'm interviewing somebody who's got $1.7 million in 0% interest credit for himself, and he's gotten millions of dollars for his clients as well. We're going to jump into how you can do the same. I've got Evan Rugan. What's up, man?
Pineda, great to finally be here, man. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, dude. You said everybody's making fun of you for having the same outfit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going with, like the Russian tracksuit right now.
I know, dude. I'm like, is this a credit mobster? Like, what is going on?
I saw a look in your face. I'm like, all right, let me give him some truth here, right? So we're all good. But look at the reviews online, all 5 stars.
Yeah. So you are the founder of, tell everyone.
Let'sGetFunded.com.
Let'sGetFunded.com. And you guys have helped, obviously, clients do this all over. And, you know, a lot of people who watch the show are business owners and real estate investors, and we're always looking for more money.
Right.
And I've had lots of guys over the years talk about credit specifically. And so I want to bring you guys on because you guys are probably the biggest in the space right now, helping people do it. And there's just, like, to me, it seems like it's always changing.
Right.
Of like just different ways to go about it and all this stuff. And then you were telling me about this thing, LexisNexis, and like why people don't get funded. So like, let's start from the beginning. How did you even get in this business?
Yeah, so at the time of this recording, I'm 31 years old, and I think I watched too many of your YouTube videos. I just started fixing, flipping, buying real estate, all this stuff.
Nice.
So moved to New York City to take it all the way back. Moved to New York City when I was 19 years old with $500 in a duffel bag. Started selling real estate. Got into that, did it as big as I could do it on that stage. I think when I was 24, the New York Times called me the frat whisperer. When I was 25, that's March of 2020, COVID happens, causes me to sort of reflect on everything. I'm like, yo, I can't rent apartments to NYU girls anymore. I want to get to the other side of the transaction. So I had bought my first single family deal for $58,000, 15 Spring, Hudson, New York, look it up. And then 2 years later, I sold it for $465,000. So I made $250,000 in my first flip. And there was an element of luck, obviously, with COVID. But, you know, I'm like, oh, wow, let's scale this. So then I went on to buy another 10 to 15 single family, multifamily deals, and realized money is everywhere but in my pocket in real estate. And then I went to refinance one of my pieces of real estate, and I realized that I had a collection of my credit report from a car that I purchased, right? So I went through this same trajectory myself. So level 1, I had to fix my credit. I had to remove negative items, late payments, collections, derogatories. Like, I remember when I got that collection, I remember counting down the days until the inquiries fell off my credit report, when in reality, you can remove those in 2 weeks with the right strategies. So I removed a lot of negative items off my credit report. It's like, okay, now I have a credit report with not much on it. You know, and I would say to your listeners, you know, if you go for funding and the only thing you've ever financed is a Chipotle burrito bowl from Klarna, you're not going to get a $250,000 business line of credit. You need comparable credit. So level 2, I built out my own credit. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I added rent reporters, I added an Amex, you know, tier 1 credit, credible lenders. Level 3, I then was able to get access to non-doc business funding. So it's like, okay, I saved my real estate portfolio. I can refinance. I'm good. I built out my credit. I got access to more funding. I think I had access to about $250,000 at the time to buy more real estate. Then I was able to get bank statement loans. That's level 4. Then I was able to get tax return loans. I haven't myself gotten SBA lending yet, but that's sort of the funding nirvana. That's sort of the 6th step. So I did the funding for myself first, and I found very quickly a lot more people were contacting me. They're like, yo, Evan, how'd you do this? They're contacting me for my credit services, my funding services. And that was in 2023. I officially started my funding company in April of 2023. And at the time of this recording, we'll do probably just north of $10 million in revenue this year, over 80 employees. And yeah, sky's the limit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Then you got a Filipino over here. So, you know.
Shout out to the Philippines. Let's go.
There we go, baby. So, you know, tell me about where the credit game is today. Like, what is different now? Because it feels like credit is tightening with all these regulations and high rates and all this stuff.
It's tightening if you don't have the right strategies. And I'll give you an example. Last week, we had our largest funding day of all time. We funded, I think, $417,000 at 0% in one day. So yes, it is tightening if you don't have the right strategies. If you're putting an authorized user on your credit report, which means you're borrowing someone else's credit, or you're buying an aged LC, a lot of the stuff that gurus in 2020, 2021 were talking about doesn't work anymore because the banks figured out that game. So the key to getting funding in 2026 is number one, being verifiable. The more data points you have connecting to yourself that's saying, hey, I'm not identity theft,
Yeah.
the more funding they're probably going to give you. If there's any shadow of a doubt that they be like, all right, this person might not be who they say they are, right? You're not going to get any funding. So many people online, they're like, oh, you can't use a home address. I've gotten access to $1.7 million. I've never met another human being who's gotten access to more funding than myself, and it's all been done from a personal home address. Um, Another thing is you have to watch the trends of what banks are lending at what time. For example, Chase in quarter 2 announced their American Dream Act where they're like, hey, we're going to lend out something like $40 billion to the American consumer, right? So you have to know when these sort of funding sprees, we'll call them, are going to be released. And like Chase announced that, and we noticed a tangible difference. Quarter 2, the funding approvals were just larger. You also have to look at exposure. Like, for example, is it Webster? Flagstar Bank. They lost a bunch of money on New York City rent-stabilized multifamily buildings. And they're like, okay, as a result, we're going to reduce exposure there. We're going to give out exposure to small businesses. Like I've gotten a $100,000 line of credit from them. So you really just have to understand the trends, understand who's banking at one time. You have to be verifiable, and you also need to have insiders at the bank, which is what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this, from what I hear, is relationship based.
Right. Yeah, because again, when you go through a relationship, it's like, all right, I met that person. They're not identity theft.
Mm,
So that will increase your chances always.
yeah. Yeah. It's funny with the LLC thing. I remember hearing people say, like, oh, well, just buy these old, whatever LLCs and then go apply for credit with them and
Yeah,
run
and
it.
there's two sides of it, right? There's the anonymity side, which is, the tax side. If you want to be anonymous, that's great for the tax side, but then you're anonymous, so the bank can't verify that you're a real human being. So it makes it a lot more difficult to get lending on the unsecured side.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So walk me through the process of like a typical client,
Mhm.
because I mean, we're talking about a lot of different concepts here. So somebody's like, hey, Evan, I need help getting funded. Like what happens?
Yeah, so I'll tell you that the person we typically work with is someone in real estate, maybe a fix and flipper, real estate developer, maybe someone looking to scale their business, maybe someone who already has a business they want to grow, whether it's marketing, employees, whatever. Typically, they'll come to us with a 700 credit score or above, and essentially we'll walk them through the process. We'll remove any negative items that they have off their credit report. We'll sort of help position their credit in the right way. Like there's so many small things. Like for example, with Chase, if you go in, you open a bank account, you apply the next day, the max approval you can get is $25,000. Okay, if you wait 3 days, the max approval you can get is $75,000. So there's all these little things that they set up to reduce their exposure, and we know all these different things that we can apply to your credit report. So essentially, one of that ICP comes into our funnel. We would onboard them, collect their documents, help them submit applications at the right places, all at 0% on the business side, and largely without them providing a tax return or a bank statement. Like there's certain income levels you can get up to. Like for example, Chase's total exposure is $150,000 without providing a tax return. Flagstar's total exposure is $100,000 without providing a tax return. Western Alliance, they're a good Vegas bank. They gave me, actually, believe it or not, $200,000. $100,000 line of credit, $100,000 on a credit card without providing a document. So it really, depends on, where the people are located, what industry in, and what we're taking in with their credit report.
Why are they giving out so much money
It's a
without
promotional
docs?
period. Well, yeah, that is a good question. People are always like, "Oh, are you lending out your own money?" I am not. It's the banks, but you have to look at it. It's a way to get you into the bank. And like, for example, like, do you know why I keep going back to Chase? But do you know why Chase lent out so money in 2022?
No.
It's because in 2022, Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. And all of a sudden, they have all these consumer deposits. They had like billions of dollars of deposits. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do with all this money? We have to lend it out. So what banks do is when they have surplus or they have a lot of money on their statements, they have to lend it out to the consumer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the same way, they want to get you into the bank, they want to get your deposits, and they do that by giving promotional periods. They do that
So
by
these
giving.
guys are like, hey, we'll just give out so much credit because we want you to bank with us and start storing your cash with us.
Right, correct. And of course, there is qualifications. You need to have that 720 credit score above. You need to have an LLC. You need to have the right data points, the right relationship manager, and we sort of fit that gap because I actually like went through it myself.
What if they don't have a 700 plus score?
We can help them fix it. And again, I'm not here to be like, I'm not here to guarantee, I'm not here to give timelines. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like if credit repair was easy, no one would pay their bills and we'd live in anarchy. However, like we are in America, right? Where you do have rights as a consumer, where you can leverage those rights and you can remove negative items off your credit report. Like, for example, let's go student loans, for example. Technically, student loans is a federally, backed loan, right? Well, in the same way during COVID, when there was forbearance on a bunch of different student loans, that's a catastrophic one, COVID, but you could be in a level 1. There could be a strong gust of wind that blew over a lawn chair. That's technically registered as a natural disaster. You can cite that on your credit report, leverage that, and get all the negative items removed off your student loans.
Wait, repeat this with the natural disaster of
Yeah.
a chair getting blown.
Yeah, so the people think of a natural disaster as hurricane,
Yeah.
Katrina or COVID or the Palisades fire. That's like the highest level. There's level 1, level 2 natural disasters, which is like, a gust of wind or a
Yeah.
large, rainfall or whatever. You can find that, you can cite that, like, all right, a natural event occurred here. I live in this location. I was affected by this, and you can use that to remove the negative items off your student loans because they're federally backed, and that's a federal event.
Mm. In today's real estate market, it is really difficult to find cash flow, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. For this reason, I'm a huge fan of wholesaling real estate right now specifically. It's the strategy that I'm using in my real estate investing business, and it's what all of our students at Wealthy Investor are doing as well. And we give you everything that you need to start your wholesaling business and have the same exact system that I have. You get the motivated seller leads, the same softwares, the same systems, processes, and one-on-one coaching and support. We'll show you step by step how you can get started today and get your first deal in 30 days or less. So go to wealthyinvestor.com today. How do you avoid, because I know that in the credit game, there's a lot of guys who are not doing it the right way.
Correct.
And, committing fraud some way, somehow.
In a big way, yeah.
Yeah. So like I hear that and I'm like, is that fraud? To try and do that? Because I guess technically it's true, but like, how do you make sure you're like actually doing the right things?
Setting proper expectations. Like before I said that, it's like, yo, this is not gonna come off overnight. This is not. You missed your bills. You missed your payments. See how many times that the creditor called you? Hey, can you make this payment? Can you do that? And a lot of these issues, a lot of these late payments, collections can be removed with goodwill letters. Like if they're a lot of like what I'm doing, walking through my consumers is. If they had a 30-day late on a mortgage and you're current now, call your bank. Hey, I am current now. Can you please remove this and give a reasonable expectation? It's preventing me from refinancing. It's preventing me from buying more real estate. So doing it in a compliant way, of course. And like all business is not good business.
Yeah.
There's people with CPNs and stuff like that. It's like, yo, get out of here. I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll just, as long as you call them, they'll remove it and all that stuff.
Well, it's not guaranteed,
right?
For sure. But generally speaking, they will. Yeah.
Got it. So obviously it starts with your credit. What about income? Because like in real estate, especially with just normal 30-year loans and stuff, your debt to income matters.
Right. Well, these are all would be represented on the business side, so it's not reflected on the personal side. So obviously that's a factor. If they have more than $10,000-$15,000 in rental income, that helps. But you don't need income on the personal side or on the real estate side to get access to funding.
Do you guys just not go after personal income funding, or?
We do some personal funding. We do personal loans. I'll tell you the scenarios we do personal loans. It's to liquidate or to pay off if someone has high credit card debt. Like, if, for example, a personal loan is 7-8%, but they have high usage on a credit card, it's 30% interest. We'll get that personal loan and help them liquidate that, help them pay it off. But generally speaking, we don't like doing stuff on the personal side because, again, it will lower their age, it will higher their debt to income, and has the potential to worsen their credit score. So we like to do everything on the business side.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What if somebody like doesn't have business history?
If they don't have business history, form an LLC. Get into business. Again, like.
I guess how much credit could somebody get? Let's just say, all right, I'm starting my business. I'm making an LLC, but like this LLC is a day old.
I can honestly say you can still get $100,000.
Really?
You can still get it, which is surprising to me. You definitely are limited in your options. Like over 2 years, like lines of credit, for example, those are out. If you're less than 2 years, you cannot get those. But good credit score, good personal credit, because again, on the personal side, they will lend you 3x what your personal limits are. So let's say your highest limit on the personal side is $10,000. They'll give you $30,000 on the business side. So you can still get $100,000 with a brand new LLC.
And how many different like places will you have to go?
Depends on your depository relationship. If you have a good personal relationship with PNC, they'll give you more on the business side. I'd say max 2 or 3.
So basically, you're able to go if they got good credit and all that stuff. Go
Mhm.
get like 25K from this guy,
Mhm.
50K from this guy,
Yeah.
25 from another guy.
So I'll tell you like how it helps. Like let's go real estate. I know it's a lot of your followers. So like this is where we help every start. Oh, we got this in front of me there. Every part of the transaction. It's like real estate fix and flipper comes to me. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is remove all your inquiries off your credit report because you've been refinancing, you've been buying, you've 5 inquiries from Exatus and
Yeah.
5 inquiries from Credco. Let's get all those off there. That'll increase your score. Then let's look at your personal usage. Okay, you're utilizing all these personal credit cards for business expenses. Let's have you pay those down so your credit score will go up. Okay. So number one, we're going to remove all the inquiries. Their credit score will go up. Then they can actually refinance and get better rates in their mortgage. Because again, you only run your credit one time for a 30-year mortgage. Like let's get that score as high as possible so you lock in the best rate possible. After that's done and your credit score is higher, let's get you funding on the business side so you can buy more rentals. So let's say you're going to close on a property and you have you need $50,000. We can liquidate a business credit card, take the money off, and use that for a down payment. Okay. After you've actually closed on the property, let's say you have a construction loan. Well, great. You just put down $70,000 to buy the property, but you need to come up with that first chunk of cash to buy the cabinets, to pay for your
Yeah.
contractors, to get the release of the construction loan. Okay.
Yep.
And then, okay, let's say you actually finish the project. Now, yeah, and I feel like I've watched one of your videos before where, you renovate a property, but you do it all on the personal side and your credit's maxed out and your credit score is a 500.
Yep.
The beauty of business credit's all on the business side, so it doesn't reflect. Like right now, actively, as I'm talking to you, I have a $100,000 Chase card and I'm utilizing $96,000 of it. But my personal credit is an 830 because it's all on the business side. It's 96 out of $100,000. It's 12 months at 0% interest. So naturally, as a business person, I'm going to use that $100,000 card. I'm going to max it out, put it on Facebook ads, put it on paying payroll, make sure there's a return on my investment. And in a year, what am I going to do? I'm going to pay that card down to zero. I'm going to write Chase a check for 100 G's. They're going to pay that card down to zero. And then Chase is going to be like, oh, you did a good job. One, you're verifiable. We know you're a real person. You've been banking with us. Number two, you show that you can pay off your debt. They'll give me another card for $30,000. And then I'll do what's called a limit transfer, where I'll transfer the limit from this card, which is no longer, we'll never use it anymore because it's not 0%, to the new card. They'll probably give me $30,000 in this card. So my next card is $130,000 at 0% for another year for free. I've done that.
Same bank?
Same bank. I've done that 4 times with Chase now. I actually have the cards on me. You can see which one's the old one, which is the new one.
Wait, so why would they keep giving you 0% cards?
I think it's sort of like this is the old card. This is old reliable that I don't use anymore.
Uh-huh.
This was like, to go back a year, this was $70,000 for a year for free. Max it out, pay it down to zero. The new card they gave me was $30,000. So I transfer this limit from here to here. This is $100,000 at 0%.
Oh, you transferred a limit.
Right. They're not going to give you more debt if you're maxed out. Banks only give you money when you don't need it.
So you're calling them up and you're like, hey.
Literally call the number on the back of the card.
You're like, hey, I got this new card with you guys. Can you just move my limit over to this card? Because I like this card better.
Right.
Wow.
And it's 0% too.
Yeah.
And I've done that.
I did not know you could do that.
Yeah, I'll send you the video on it after. I have a whole video of me calling the guy. But yeah, I've done that 4 times with Chase. You can do that with Bank of America. You can do that with Amex. You can do that with Elon Financial. It's not every bank.
So even if like you had $100,000 card and this new card's only $10,000, but it's the same bank.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did with them. It was 70,000 and 30, and I moved all 70 to the next card. So I have one card with 100, and the rest of the cards are 1,000.
Now, do you get rid of those cards, or I mean, you're obviously not going to use them?
They're not doing any harm. They're sitting around. I'll probably cancel one because I'll need to get a new card in a year.
And they only let you have like 4 or something?
Yeah.
Got it. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode, but how would you like to be the one that I'm interviewing on this show? I'm looking for entrepreneurs who've got a great message to share, who have an inspiring story, and who can add value to the audience. So submit by going to wealthyway.com. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, like you mentioned a little bit about my story. It's interesting. So I am the example of how credit can, definitely help you out.
Right.
So in 2014, I decided, I was like, hey, I'm going to flip houses.
Mhm.
And I didn't have money. And at that time, there was no credit gurus or YouTube or any of this crap. And I'm like, I don't know, just I need to apply for 1,000,000 cards. And so I literally just applied for everything personal.
Right.
I never heard of business credit, nor did I have an LLC. And so I just apply for all this crap. And I get approved for like 50,000 between me and my wife. And, yeah, I applied for like the 0% stuff,
Right.
but I just got it and then did a balance transfer to cash. And like I had 50 G's. And then I got a hard money loan. My credit went down to like 500,
Because it was on the personal side.
Yeah.
If it was on the business side, you would have been good. I still do that.
Yeah. And I was just like, whatever. I'm not trying to get like loans that I need a personal score for. I
Right.
was just getting hard money loans for
Right.
house flips and they didn't really care. So yeah, I end up doing that, flip my first house, make 25 grand. And I literally kept my credit cards maxed out for like 2 years, even paying interest too.
Oh,
Like
wow.
once the 0% was up, I was like, all right, well, I have this opportunity to buy this next house flip and yeah, I'll pay 1% a month or whatever it is. And I'm still going to come out ahead.
So a lot of our another big part of our demographic is people that do have expired cards where they had a 0% business card, they ran through the 0% interest. They're like, yo, I'm paying 30% interest now. We can actually get them cards and then do a balance transfer. We get them, for example, Elon Financial. We got a guy last week, $50,000 at 0% for 18 months, which is just, you hear that, you're like, all right, whatever. But that's like me going to you like, hey, Ryan, you can borrow 50 grand. You don't have to pay me interest for a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's the bet this bank's making. But essentially, you can write a check off the card and do a balance transfer. And we paid all his other debt off. That was at 30% interest.
Yeah.
Now he's got another 18 months at 0%.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I just
Yeah.
took the balance transfer and bought a house.
Right.
But yeah, like that was even a new thing I learned because I remember hearing about cash advances and I was like, I remember calling the card and I was like, wait, they're like, you shouldn't do a cash advance. You should
No.
do a balance transfer. And I was like,
Correct.
no, I don't want, I was like, I don't want to, they're like, no, but you can get it as a check.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Isn't that a cash advance? They're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I thought that's what I want, a cash. They're like, no, a balance. I'm like, so you're going to just pay off no, we can just write you a check. And I was like, I don't understand this, but yeah, I just want a cash check from what I owe. And they're like, yeah, we could do that. And then they sent me a check.
Yeah. Yeah. In that scenario, it's like, I had a similar like learning. I'm like, all right, if you're going to offer me a flight to the moon, I'm not going to ask for the seat.
I know.
Write the check.
Yeah, and they did. And I was
Yeah.
like, why does a cash advance even exist?
Yeah. Because some people take it.
It's the same thing though, isn't it? Like,
I think a cash advance is like the only scenario I can think of is actually here in Vegas is when you go to the casino and you have to do a cash advance on a credit card and they do it on the spot.
right.
Maybe it's the immediate thing that they
Oh.
I don't know.
But yeah, like the balance transfer takes a couple of days.
Yeah.
It wasn't even
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. No, I've again borrowed the 1.7. I've never paid $1 of credit card interest because it's like I will put it into something. For example, like I learned about the debt through real estate, but I've used my capital to become the largest school community of all time for credit and funding. I just put on Facebook ads, and I know I'm going to get a return on that, usually between like 7 and 8x ROAS. So I know I'll be able to pay back the card every single month. Or I can keep that, like, especially when I was starting off, is I can hold a balance on it for a year and not pay. It's like, that's a big thing that people don't realize is they don't realize that you can hold a balance on the card for an entire year, paying the minimums, you
Yeah.
pay the, whatever, the 1%.
That's what I was doing.
But, yeah, it's just, you can leverage that first $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 to whatever business venture you want to do. A lot of real estate people, a lot of, again, people that want to grow their business, a lot of people that are buying businesses.
Yeah. So tell me about the school community, because you were telling me something too, like
Yeah.
if they join, they get access to LexisNexis. And I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah. I will pull your report after. I'll pull your entire life story. There's crazy stuff on there, bro. It's truly insane. So yeah, man. So we like to be, reachable for everybody, we have the offer where we're working directly with you, have access to relationship managers, working one-on-one with one of our funding managers. But then we also have a school community where we have 5 calls a week. Every Monday, how to fly for free. Every Tuesday, how to get a virtual assistant with my man Franco over there. Every Wednesday, I have a call. Every Thursday, there is how to build out your file the right way. Every Friday, how to market your business. And then we also, give anyone who will join this, just mention Ryan Pineda. We'll give you your LexisNexis for free. What is LexisNexis? It's your entire life story in a document. Most people don't know this exists. I paid more than my rent for this technology. I pay $6,000 a month for it. And I use it personally I do look up anyone I'm going to do business with. I look up their entire life story because there's some crazy stuff that comes up on there that you just
Like a
wouldn't know
background
about.
check.
Yeah, no, but like everything. It's every address you've ever had. So the amount of people that are like, yo, can you pull it from my ex-girlfriend? I'm like, no, I can only pull it for you. I legally can't give you anyone else's other than your own. Any traffic infractions, any back taxes, any property you've ever owned, any car you've ever driven, any boat you've owned, literally everything, your entire life in a document.
When somebody pulls a background check, is
Yeah.
that what it is?
It's a syndication of all of your information on the internet. So
Wow.
it's a syndication of so many different data sources, of police records, of IRS records, of everything. It's on one document.
Got it.
Yeah, and why that matters is a lot of people get denied for funding for maybe the incorrect information syndicated to LexisNexis, or maybe their LLC. Again, like I told you backstage, we had a guy who went for funding and his LLC was owned by his business partner who had died 6 years ago, and he didn't know that. And it's truly one of those things. It's like in life now, you can have anything you want. If you want a car, you can rent it. If you want to be on a boat, you can rent it. But this is one of those things. Like, we're truly the only way to get access to LexisNexis is through us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's funny. I remember when I was applying for credit back then. I was trying to get. I got different ones. One was like a U.S. bank. One was a Fidelity card.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. The only one I could never get was Chase.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are these fools not just straight denied?
Did you ever have a relationship with them?
At that time, no.
That might have gone into check systems. They might, because they use check systems where it's like if you've ever overdraft or you've ever had a negative item, like that's another thing. It's like the bank is a person. That's what I always tell people. It's like people will not pay a bank back and then fix it with credit repair and go back 5 years later and they're like, Amex denied me. I'm like, yeah. If I go to borrow money from you and 5 years ago I didn't pay you back, you're like, dude, get out of here. I'm not giving you money again.
Right.
So like you can fix it with credit repair, but that internal document still exists. So I could pull it up for you. I can figure out why.
Well, this was like 15 years ago.
I'll go back.
I'm like, why do they not, I don't get it. And what's interesting too, now I have a relationship with Chase.
Good.
So we do have some Chase cards today.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because over the years, I just have not really tried to raise my credit score ever. How big of a deal is it?
Well, you're good now. I mean, you have the liquidity, but
yeah.
When you're starting off, it's like so many people, I'm like, yo, you got to get the foundation solid first. Like business isn't always up and to the right, as you know. It's like, hey, banks give you money when you don't need it. Like when my head hits the pillow at night and I have, $1.5 million in lines of credit that I can draw tomorrow for any business venture, it's a good feeling, you know?
So you still have access to that much debt.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. I don't have to use it. If it's a line of credit and I'm not drawing on it, it's free. You pay the $200, a year in an annual fee. I advise every single person, hey, get that $50,000, $100,000 line of credit and just have it sit there.
Yeah.
You never know. It's like business, one of two spots, greed or fear. And if you can move, I don't want to say greed, I want to say opulence. And to quote the Bible, it's take the debt, sell the oil. It actually says that in the Bible. So
I have to look at that one. I haven't seen that one.
No, I'm serious. I was to go into religion a little bit. I grew up. I just realized the difference. I'm not super deep into the journey, but I grew up Catholic and Franco's Christian, and I grew up, to be real, in America, Catholic. It was sort of boring. It wasn't really applicable.
Yeah.
But then Franco, he's very, very serious about it. I'm like, all right, if this guy's this serious about Jesus, clearly this guy's doing something right. So, he kind of dragged me in the church in the Philippines, and it was like completely different vibe. I'm like, this is so cool. It's so refreshing. It's all really applicable information.
Yeah.
Stuff that I actually apply. It's like, I can apply this today.
Wow.
And I think it was a blend of, one, the congregation that he was at, and number two, just they took out the American consumerism out of it, the pastor stealing or whatever. It's like, it was just so pure. And I've now gone to Filipino church, I think 3 times with him. I'm going back in December. The second time I went, the topic was money. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I thought he was talking to me the whole time. I was in the front row. So it was sick.
Funny.
But yeah, that is in the Bible. Quote me.
You guys know I love the game of golf, and that is why I started M19. It is a golf mastermind for entrepreneurs who are doing over 7 figures in their business and who want to go on bucket countless golf trips together. We already have hundreds of members all across the country, and we've been to some of the best courses in the world, places like Pebble Beach, Pinehurst, Bandon Dunes, and many others. The course is the best place to do deals, make great relationships, and have fun. So go to mastermind19.com today. So yeah, it's interesting because, it's like, obviously debt plays a huge role in growing a business. And for me anyways, right, that was the beginning stage of my journey when I, maxed them all out, personal and all that stuff. And then I will say, man, maybe like 4 years later, 5 years later, I got into my first tough time where I was like, oh crap, things are not going good. Like, I need credit. And I will say, to your point, having it available before the tough times is way better than during the tough times, because now they're like, oh, why is this guy looking for money everywhere?
They don't want to catch a knife.
Yep. Yeah. So like when things are good is when you probably should be doing it.
Correct.
And, I remember I got two of my biggest loans, not like real estate loans, because I had millions of that. But like I got my first like unsecured line. It was $100,000 with Nevada State Bank, who I had a relationship with. And they're like, this is our max line.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay. They're like, you've been instantly approved. I was like, oh, that was cool. And I actually needed it. Like, I really needed it for a season when things were tight. And then another one I got that I found super interesting was one back then called Lightstream.
Yeah, I still have 2 Lightstreams. It's great debt.
Yeah, so freaking, I remember I accidentally found this one. I was getting a quote because I just bought a new house and like, we want to install a pool in your backyard and all this stuff. I was like, oh, sweet. How much is it going to be? And they're like, oh, it's like $100,000 for all this stuff. And they're like, but you could finance it. I was like, oh, who finances this? And they're like, and I wasn't even thinking about it in this way, but they're like, yeah, it's this company called Lightstream. You just go apply right now and see what they approve you for. So I was like, okay. So I go apply and they're like, how big's the pool? I'm just putting the crap. And so I apply. And they're like, okay, what's the max that you want? I was like, what's the max? And they're like, $100,000.
Right.
I was like, okay. So I click $100,000. They're like, you've been approved. And it was like, it's like a 6% loan or 7% loan.
Yeah, it's great money.
And I was like, okay. So do I need like the pool contract? Like, does this go straight to the contractor? And they're like, no, we just send you a check. I was like, wait, what? How do you even know if I got a pool or not?
They still do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I was shocked. I was like, so wait, you're going to just send me this check for $100,000, whether I get the pool or not? They're like, yeah. And I was just like, okay. Like, and I ended up getting the pool, but I was just like, they just gave me the money.
Yeah. There's a lot of banks like that. Like, what is the intended use? Like Navy Federal is another one. Like, what is the intended use? They're like, oh, I want to buy a car. It's like, okay, great. Used car loan. They send you the check. And like, again.
Really? They just give you the cash?
Yeah. And Lightstream still does that. I actually have 2 Lightstream loans. And again, just like a little hack for all you guys is like, I could pay them off tomorrow, but I would rather pay them off the 90% so that to the banks, it looks like, okay, Evan has 2 open loans that are 90% paid off. I look a lot more marketable to the bank. Right. Because when you pay that off, the age goes away and then it's a closed account.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can do that same if
I've done that with all mine. I keep paying them all off.
Yeah. Keep it open.
Just shut them down.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really a number one priority for you. But for someone I'd say who's starting their let's say they're starting their credit journey and they have a lot of cash, right? Yeah. What you can do, and it's frustrating because like, I have all this cash, but I can only get a Chipotle Klarna bowl. Yeah. I can only get a $300 loan, whatever. How you can skip the line there is you get something called a pledge loan, where if you have that $30,000, put it into a pledge loan. It's almost like a secured credit card. Yeah. But the same thing, it's a loan, and then you could take you can pay off 90% of it. You get all the money back, and now you have a $30,000 loan that's 90% paid off because you fronted the money to get the secured loan.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to build out the strength of your file.
Side note.
Yeah.
How does credit repair work with you guys? Because I know that you guys, a lot of people listening to this have credit or just random things that have happened. For me, over the last 15 years, I've had just random things happen, like forgetting to pay a bill. And, dude, we recently had one where I subtoed a house to somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
I know. And I forgot that, well, I didn't forget, but we thought they were paying. They weren't. So then I missed a few payments.
Pace doesn't talk about that.
Yeah. And like, I'm like, dude, And, long story short,
Right.
it is what it is. So now I'm just like paying the bill.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, like I've literally never had any issues ever paying mortgages or anything. And now I got this freaking negative thing for no reason. Like, how do you get it removed?
So in that scenario, so again, one really important thing I didn't include is with our $97 community, all the credit repair is free. It's done for you credit
Oh,
repair.
that's cool.
Yeah. Because again, we don't want to like we'll fix the credit, but we'll literally do it at cost to get you ready for funding.
Yeah.
So in a scenario like that, you could just join our community hypothetically, and we would remove that. I mean, obviously, I would do yours for free, but yeah, I mean, we would just write all different types of letters of goodwill letters. Hey, here's the proven balance. I'm paying it off. Please, get this removed.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I'm about to make this lump sum payment to them, and I'm just like, you don't think make a lump sum?
It's worth. Well, how much is the payment? Like, what's the lump sum payment?
It's gonna be like 30 grand or something.
I mean, in your scenario, I feel like just write the check if it's 30 grand. But I think it would be worth it. Just get on the phone with them, send them a couple letters. Hey, can we just get this
I would
removed?
pay it first,
Yeah.
and then be like, hey, I paid this. You should remove it.
I would reverse it. I'd be like, hey,
Okay.
if I pay this, can you remove it? Yes, we will. Okay, here's the payment.
Oh. Yeah, because I just
Paper
found
delete.
this out like this week, and I was like,
yeah,
okay,
it's called a pay for delete letter.
pay for delete.
Yeah, it's like, yo, if I'm gonna pay this, just delete it. If I do good on this, take it off.
If I don't pay it,
Yeah,
you're gonna foreclose the home or whatever.
yeah.
They're like,
Because
well,
they're not in that business. They don't. They
Yeah,
don't
no, I
wanna,
know.
And that's a lot of what credit repair is too. Is just continuing to go back 5, 6, 7 months, 5, 6, 7 disputes. Because again, a lot of these are small creditors. They have to everything in your credit report needs to be accurate and verifiable. And if they can't prove it and it's not accurate, then you need to remove it. Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of these small town lenders, they don't want to collect all this paperwork, filing cabinets of documents of credit reports. So they'd rather just have it fixed.
Yeah, it's kind of like, because I've gotten so many hard money loans over the years, hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, those don't ever show up on credit. Like,
Right. Because you're at that level now. And they're also on the business side. That's what
I'm saying. And that's what you're saying, though, with these credit where they're all on the business side, too. Like,
I don't do anything on the personal side. Yeah, it's just, again, let's say it's a person that they have younger age. I get them a new card. Their age goes down. Then they go to use that card and their utilization goes up and their credit score goes down. Ethically, I would rather put it on the business side.
Right.
Because personal money doesn't really help anybody.
You think it's easier to get business than it is personal?
I do. Yeah. Because business, you have less rights. Although it is still personally guaranteed, the bank is much more likely to work with the business because there's less there's so much regulations with banking that I think they'd much rather lend to the business side than the personal side.
So explain that. The business side is personally guaranteed, but it doesn't show up on your personal credit.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly it. Any business funding, you are going to personally guarantee it. Anyone online, oh, no personal guarantee. First off, anyone who asks, yo, do I have to personally guarantee this, is a red flag. Like, you have to know. But like, oh, I don't want to personally guarantee. Okay, do you plan on defaulting? Do you plan on running off?
Do you not pay your debts?
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about? So I would say that's just a red flag in general. You have to know. It's important to know. It's a good conscious business decision to make. But you're definitely personally guaranteeing it. It's all on the business side. If you miss payments, then it will show up on the personal side.
Oh.
If you never miss a payment, it'll never show up. Again, I have $70,000 of personal credit card limits. I never use them, and I have 1.7 million on the business side. If I did a 30-day late payment, it would report to the personal side. And here's another thing, Ryan, is that the max you really want to have on the personal side in terms of limits, if you plan on getting business funding, is a max of like $70,000 to $80,000. Again, the bank is a person. If I go to borrow money from you and you're like, dude, why do you need money? You have $80,000 right there. You're not going to lend to me.
Yeah.
So you want to max in the personal side, get $70,000, $80,000. There's so many small things so many mistakes that people make that prevent them from getting business funding.
Right.
Look at a $50,000 personal card. It's like, okay.
So if people want to join the school and everything else, we'll link to it down below.
Yeah.
And then for the website though, like if they just want to straight up start working with you guys, how does it work? Do you guys charge them up front? Do you guys take a percentage? Like, how does that all work?
There's a blend of packages. So I guess the all the different tiers is, if you just want to learn about us, you want to see if we're legit, get more information, jump on a couple calls. Also, my $1.7 million funding framework, all the data points, everything I've done to get $1.7 million is all broken down in Loom videos. that's a 97. Jump on there, get some game. If you're like, yo, I'm super serious about this, I want to get funding. I have that 720 or credit score above. Speak to our team. There's an upfront payment, and then we do charge money on the back as well. But there's a blend. If it's like if someone wants max funding, it's like, all right, maybe we'll do a little bit more upfront and less on the back. If someone's like, yo, I don't even know if I can get approved, maybe we'll do less in the front and more on the back. We'll work.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll speak about it at a later date. Is we also have an opportunity if you were like, all right, this all sounds great. I like credit. I want to grow and scale my own funding or credit business. We can also show you how to do that.
Yeah.
That's
if you
what
guys,
a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Nope.
If you guys subscribe to the channel, we're going to have another one come out here in a couple of months going over starting a credit business as like a business for the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, you've got that. Another thing you mentioned too was SBA.
Right.
And you haven't been doing that for yourself, but I've been thinking about that now for my own things because, you know, we got our offices here and I'm like, okay, maybe I might get an SBA loan for like an office. Maybe I'm going to get I got a PPP back in the day and that was like the only SBA I've done.
I grabbed like a quick like 54,000 EIDL. That saved me, dude.
Yeah.
Middle of that fix and flip, man. Whew, I think it seems like the large majority of people on their first fix and flip, it's like the most stressful experience of their life. That PPP,
I don't think it ever changes, but yeah.
No, me neither. Yeah, I got my guy Nathan. Shout out Nathan Delgado. He's in the middle of a fix and flip right now in Chicago, and I just see his hair going white. But he's a young guy too, 24, 25 years old. In terms of PPP and SBA, how large of a loan are you looking at?
Well, the SBA is going to just be dependent on the building that we end up buying. So that's one thing. Like I kind of know how to get that.
Yeah.
But I guess like, do you know how these SBA loans work for just business?
We've done in our time at Let's Get Funded over 50. It's a long process, and a lot of the thing is like, yo, man, how much do you need? They're like, yo, I need $250,000. It's like, yo, let's just go to a credit union and get it that way. We'll get it in 2 weeks as opposed to 3 months. A lot less paperwork. They don't need your blood sample and your whole life story. It's a quicker process. I'd say SBAs really only make sense like above $500,000. And then in that sense, I would suggest there's an Express SBA loan. There's SBA loan 7A, which we've helped quite a few people get. That seems to be the most popular.
What is that one?
That's for like from what we've done between the $500 to $1.5 million. That's for like if you're expanding a business. Like we've done a lot of like HVAC contractor stuff like that.
How long did it take to get those?
3 months.
Oh wow, that's not too bad.
Yeah, but it's a lot of back and forth. A lot of like SBA, like in general, like to your viewers, like the SBA will in general fund you if it makes sense. If you have the P&L, if you have the balance sheet, if you have the cash flow statements, which a lot of people don't have, super organized.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I would say under $500,000, just get a couple lines of credit. You get 3 lines of credit for.
So you're talking, hey, if you want over $1 million, it could be an option.
Yeah, for sure. It's longer and time kills all deals.
Yeah, I haven't met many people in my life that got an SBA loan like while they were running the business.
Right.
Like I've seen people get an SBA loan to buy a business.
That's and just to be real, like that's not something I'm super versed on. You know, if I can't do something, I'll tell you. Like I'm not an expert at using SBA to buy because again, like a lot of our people buying businesses, again, it's a seller finance deal. They take 100 G's in a line of credit, they use it for the down payment.
Yeah, they're not doing SBA.
Yeah,
I need $100,000. I'm paying the seller.
Yeah, we've
How
tried.
often are people doing that?
Very frequently. I'd say our 3 biggest demographics is people in real estate, people scaling a business, people buying a business. And it's the same thing. They need that large upfront cash. They need $150,000 at 0% to start or scale. And then they need another maybe 50 to 100 to grow and scale the business or the real estate investment. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
How many of the people that you work with are already like established 7-figure business owners versus like people trying to start?
Well, naturally, Ryan, there's less of those. So I'd say the percentage of them, I'd say, we service, I mean, we help, we're letsgetfunded.com, trademark pending. But it is. By the way, sidebar, I got Let's Get Funded. If I was online, whatever, flexing a guru, I'd be, oh yeah, we acquired it. If I'm being real with you, we bought it on GoDaddy for $9.
Let's go.
Yeah. The same week, private equity offered me like $100,000 for it. They're like,
really?
Yeah. They're like, yeah. When you go to apply for a loan, the button you click is Let's Get Funded. So immediately bought it, trademark. But Yeah, I was like stalking that domain for like 6 months. The day it expired, I bought it at like 12:03.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, dang.
Who had it before?
I don't know. Someone who wants it back. They sent me a couple of emails.
Really?
Like, oh, it's mine now.
Dang, dude. I'm
I
a
like.
domain junkie.
Can I say something? I do like how you say "dang."
Dang.
Do you understand why you don't say "damn"? And I learned this.
I just don't cuss.
Exactly. I didn't know that damnation is like of again. I don't know how to explain it, of hell, but I've started saying "dang" as well because I'm like, dude, why am I bringing Jesus into this? You know, like he didn't do anything.
What's it got to do with credit?
Yeah. So I've been saying "dang" too.
There we go.
Franco loves that.
You're being what we call in the Christian faith sanctified. You know what that means yet?
No, I don't.
So
Okay.
the process of sanctification is becoming more like Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just alert of it. I understand the power that my words have. Like you don't realize, like I don't even want to say it, but like I'll just say it for the example because when you say "God damn," it's like, dude, that's like again, why are you bringing him into the?
Yeah.
Well, you stubbed your toe. Like that does have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So I'll just be like,
You just
dang.
you don't realize that you're doing it. It's just habit and
There's so many words like that though. When you really think about it, you're like, whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Satan wants.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah. Many people have died for the lack of knowledge. Hopefully we educated a couple people today.
Yeah. So SBA is one path, but
Mhm.
like very limited path. The
Right.
easiest path that you're talking about is just business funding.
Most commonly, 0% business card, all on the business side, 0% between 12 and 18 months. They can use that money to grow. They can use that money to scale. It's not going to negatively affect them on the personal side. It's not going to touch the personal side. And, they can use it for a down payment. They can use it for marketing. It's money at the end of the day. Money is money. It is in the form of business credit cards, but if you need to take money off the card, you can liquidate it.
Here's another question.
Yeah.
How long does it typically take?
It varies.
If you already got decent credit, you're over 700.
Yeah, I mean, it could take, I'd say realistically 3 or 4 days, but it's not you on calls 3 or 4 days and say, here's your onboarding. Let's look over. Hey, open these bank accounts. Here's a relationship manager and apply. Sometimes it's longer because a lot of people, they're leveraging their personal credit for their business expenses, which again is in a tax is not compliant. So it's like, hey, pay down this, get it down to this utilization, and then your score will go up, and then we'll get you debt in the business side.
Yeah, that's going to take longer because it's going to take at least a month to update.
Right, we need the card to report. Yeah.
But so assuming their utilization's good, their credit's good, they onboard with you, you're going to probably go over their goals.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, here's what we need to do. You're going to set a plan.
Yeah, and also like to be real, like, I'm a millionaire 5 or 6 times over, 90 employees. Some people will come to us like, yo, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, hey man, that doesn't seem like the right move. Like some people are like, yo, a lot of people are like, yo, I want to get into fix and flip. I want to buy real estate. I'm like, all right, man, you're going to get $100,000 of credit card debt. And then you're going to get another $300,000 for a mortgage to maybe eke out $2,000, $3,000 in cash flow.
Yeah.
Let's do something else. Like that makes sense from a tax perspective. That makes sense for, appreciation, but you're unemployed. Like you got to get a job.
You don't even have a tax problem.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have anything to report. So we do a lot in the advisory as well. We can staff their business if they need it. But yeah, essentially, people will come to us. We'll give them the exact plan. We'll introduce them to our relationship managers at all major banks. And again, I'm not over promising, but our job very simply is put the game in their favor as much as humanly possible and prevent them from making a mistake that will have them miss out on $50,000, $75,000 at 0%.
Right. Okay, so I mean, we've talked a lot about debt, but I kind of want to know personally because you just said, hey, we've got 70, 80 employees.
Right.
I started this business in 2023. What's the process been like scaling this thing?
It's been
as an owner founder.
Yeah, it's been great, man. I mean, I started in 23. I'm already forgetting the years. 23, I became aware of credit. I had fixed my own credit, and then 24, like a year later, is it 23 or 24? I don't even remember. Yeah, I started in 2023. I became aware of it in 2022.
Yeah,
and I opened my Stripe account in 2023. First year we did $100,000 in revenue. 2020, the next year we did $850, not $1 million. We did $850,000. Last year we did 3.1. This year we'll do. I'd like to hit 10 million. That's the goal. We'll probably end up around 9, being realistic. It's been incredible, man. Just figuring out truly like advertising, making them aware of you, getting people ready to buy, sales, getting them over the finish line, and fulfillment, actually getting what they paid for. It's really a conveyor belt, you know. And I look at it like that, and it's essentially, I have in my mind my organizational chart and building the company down, right? Looking at the downsells, the upsells, really understanding what guys like you, guys like, you know, really titans of, you know, info, guys like Alex Hormozy, really learning and feeling what they're talking about and applying it to my own business. It's like we give out the Lexus Nexus, one, because we want to be valuable, but two, it gets a lot of people over the finish line. They're like, okay, you know, you get the pretzels for free, so you buy the water, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, it's been incredible, man. And, you know, obviously our clients are incredible and they're the reason we do this, but it's also so great empowering the people within our organization. I mean, Franco over there, it's his second time in America. He's the first of 80 members in his family to make it to America.
Yeah.
Now we're with another guy, Jose, who's going to be leading our ITIN division. It's his second time in America. Everyone in my company is starting to have kids now.
Yeah.
It's like really cool to like watch people grow within your organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franco, you're like my dad, dude. He came when he was 17 from the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, so you're first gen?
I'm first gen here in America.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
my dad came from the Philippines.
I want to hear about that, man. I want to hear about your Filipino, like how it, I don't know. I saw in your story you were talking about kimchi or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I was at Seafood City yesterday buying up all the noodles and But yeah, I mean, my dad.
Do you ever get back? You ever go back over there?
I've been back once. Well, I only went once for my whole life, but my dad hasn't been back. But yeah, you know, it's interesting, right? Because it's a true American dream for him. Like, he came when he was 17, finished the last year of high school, became a citizen the, you know, legal way.
Mm-hmm.
Works, you know, at a gas station, making no money, becomes a manager, then opens up his own convenience store as an entrepreneur.
Right.
You know, meets my mom here, gets married, has me.
Where's she from?
She was from Arizona, but he moved here to Vegas,
Okay.
and they met here in Vegas. And so, you know, I'm born and raised in Vegas.
Yeah.
But, you know, like the American dream.
Right.
And then, you know, he lost it all in 2008. You know, he lost his convenience store, lost his business, lost it all. And so, like, you just see this whole process of like being an entrepreneur and being a business owner, man. I mean, like, I got to see that firsthand.
Right.
Because at that time I was in college when all that happened. And so, you know, for me, I watched my dad always be a provider and, you know, own a business and all that stuff. And it's not that I ever even wanted to own a business.
Right.
I just want to play baseball.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I got to see that and see how hard it was. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I was like, okay, like, things can go south.
Right.
You got to be prepared. You got to be flexible. You got to be, you know, ready to move.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think having access to capital is like, because this is what I always tell people in business, especially the real estate investors. They need to understand this. The only way you lose that in business is if you run out of money.
Correct.
It's the only way you lose.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be open AI right now, be losing billions every month, because they're losing billions every month. But guess what? They have a war chest of money that they've raised. And so they can keep losing billions until they figure it out and become profitable. Like, Uber's no different. You know, the biggest company in the world's all just raised a ton of money, whether it was equity, debt, or whatever, to make it through till they figured it out. Now, small business owners don't have that luxury. We got to start like making money right away. We're not some unicorn billion-dollar organization where
not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Where the plan is, hey, we're going to lose money for 5 years and, you know, become profitable.
Also, again, like, you maybe, I don't know, did you ever raise equity for any of your real estate deals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am proud to say I own 100% of Let's Get Funded. No investment, nothing like that. Like, anyone who's thinking about raising money, like, just keep in mind, like, you will have an investor with a gun to your head, like, yo, be profitable. Like, that's one thing I learned. Yeah, so just think about that. And again, with real estate, like, yeah, it's great, but like, you got to focus on the active income first. It's like, and I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but, you know, if you look at a bell curve, right? There's innovators, there's early majority, late majority, laggards, right? Credit and funding, it isn't new, but the reason we're absolutely crushing is simply that we're innovators of a few different things that we've brought into credit and funding. We're an innovator of artificial intelligence. We're an innovator of school, right? It's like the people who got the most famous were on TikTok in 2020 dancing in their kitchen. The people who,
I did that.
Yeah. Yeah. The people who made the most money in Airbnb was 15 years ago.
I did that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always been on the cutting edge. I started Airbnb a decade ago.
Right. Right. And you remember what it was like 10, 15 years? You were printing.
Way easy.
Yeah. Yeah. But
TikTok
now
was easy.
it's late majority. But
Yeah.
what is new? What just came out? School just came out. You know, there should be no reason that we should go from zero. I mean, I have a little bit of a YouTube presence, more of an Instagram presence, but we've gone from zero to $140,000 in MRR in 24 months, from literal zero. AI, you know, installing AI agents into your business. It closes anywhere from, for us personally, between 20 and 25 deals a day, using AI agents, closing and setting people. And then we've installed this same technology for other people's offers. So anywhere that you can be an innovator and bring that into an industry, you're going to do extremely well.
Yeah.
Like in the same way that you did Airbnb, like at that time, no one was using real estate for that use. Or the same way that Pace Morby brought in Subject 2, no one he was an innovator of that thing in real estate. And that's why he's had so much success.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember too, even with TikTok and everything else, I got into it in 2020 and everybody was like,
with the red hair, I remember.
Yeah. Everyone's like, why are you dancing and doing this TikTok? Like every real estate investor was like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like the future.
Yeah. Tell him, Ryan. Yeah. And look at it now.
I was like, the short form vertical thing is so addicting.
Right.
There wasn't even Instagram Reels yet. And I was like, I bet you this is the future of content.
Right.
Because if I don't even like watching videos.
Yeah.
But if I am addicted to this, I can't imagine what normal people
oh my God
are going to be like. And
yeah.
then sure enough, Reel. And now it's the perform like content strategy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think you got to be willing to take risk. My biggest bet not my biggest bet, but my current bet is golf. Like I just see it of like this thing that every entrepreneur's going to do. And
I feel like you could be the one in the same way that and maybe you're already doing this. I don't know. Have you seen Dave Portnoy? He has like the league of like, you know, golf league of like influencers.
Yep.
I feel like you have like the golf league of like info.
Well, I mean, I have my golf mastermind.
Okay, well, they already have it. Okay, there you go.
So yeah, I mean, this year, it's their first full year. We're on pace to kind of very similar to you guys. It's going to probably do like 7 to 10 this year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And yeah, it's just like, I see that and I'm like, oh yeah, this is for sure where masterminds and things are headed because nobody wants seminars. Nobody wants to sit in conferences anymore. But man, playing golf with high level people at the exotic locations of the world, I don't see that going away.
No.
I don't see AI changing that.
No. People need to get outside more than ever. Touch grass.
Yeah.
You know, get into a beautiful environment. That's like half of golf to me. I'm like, wow, this place is sick.
I know.
Yeah.
And I can hang out with cool people and talk business and whatever. Like, so anyways, yeah, I think 5 years from now, I'm going to look back at this decision and be like, that was pretty smart and innovative.
Yeah.
Like I think in the info world, since you're in it now, I think the future is going to be only one of two ways. I think there's either services, which you're providing, and like even with my real estate info business, it's more service-based now. It's not even, I would call info. It's, we're going to give you leads, a CRM, training, you know, everything. Or it's experience-based.
Right.
And I think that obviously golf falls into that bucket.
Right.
It's having an experience with the right people. Because in info now, it's like, bro, anyone can learn anything.
Right.
For free.
Copy paste.
I can go on chat and learn it. And I can go on YouTube and learn it. I can listen to podcasts. And it's all great. It's awesome. But
yeah, that's what Claude said. They're like, yeah, Ryan Pineda would probably be into Filipino golf balls customized. I'm like, okay, done.
A Filipino golf ball. But Claude knows.
Yeah, thanks, Claude.
That's funny. Well, bro, this has been great. Like I was telling all the viewers, we're going to be doing another one about starting a credit business for those who are on the hustle of looking for an opportunity. So make sure you subscribe for that one. But hey, if people want to connect with you, where should they go?
You could join our school community. Again, I'm sure I'll put the link in bio. Instagram is Bowery Boy. Bowery is a street. I used to live on New York City. My name is Evan Rugan, EVANRUGEN. I would say that if they can't find me, they're doing something wrong. I'm on every platform.
You're like, I don't even want to work with you. But then you said get credit, or what is the domain again?
Oh, let's get funded.
Let'sgetfunded.com.
Yeah.
Yep, let'sgetfunded.com. So guys, go check it out, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.